What does it mean to be biohacked? Well, it means taking control of your own biology, optimizing your genetic potential to become the absolute best version of yourself using nutrigenomics. And that's simply the research of how nutrition and nutrients and natural compounds can affect our genes. Let me mute everyone. Welcome everyone. Mute all. Okay. So, and that is the opposite of being hijacked, which we are in today's world. We're being hijacked, taken over for destructive purposes by, not only physically, but emotionally, biochemically, electromagnetically, from toxins, EMFs, and allergens, etc. And you know as well as I, every bite of food you take becomes you. You are what you eat truly. So, what is nutrigenomics? It is a 600 billion plus industry, all about the scientific study of the interaction of nutrition and genes. And that's what we're talking about, biohacking with nutrigenomics. Again, we are inundated with pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, food coloring, preservatives, pollution in our air and water, EMFs, and cell phone radiation. It is not our grandparents' world. They may not have needed biohacking, but we desperately do. All of these toxins and things we just discussed cause something called oxidative stress. And if you don't know what that is, just imagine an apple left out after it's been cut and the protective skin has been removed. The oxygen in the atmosphere interacts with the delicate skin, the delicate innards of the apple, which are no longer protected by the skin, and it turns the apple brown, turns bananas brown, turns our skin wrinkly, turns our hair gray, turns our cells damaged. It is not good. And traditionally, all we could do about it was fight that damage one by one by one by one. But your body produces these free radicals, which cause oxidative stress, to the septillions. There's like 23 zeros behind how many free radicals we produce in a day. And that's just if we're not active. If we're athletes, we produce even more. And to try to fight it with that direct antioxidants is a one and done solution. It doesn't work. It does give you nutrients to build tissue, and that's good. We need the nutrients, but using those to put out the fire of free radical damage is just not as effective as turning on your own God-given enzymes, which is like a firefighter coming to your house and spraying a hose, okay? That's what your NRF2 pathway is. And you see that word there, NRF2 activation. That's what we're gonna talk about. The whole story, the reason that NRF2 activation came to awareness is because the company that makes this NRF2 activator said that they could reduce the fire of oxidative stress. They could reduce that oxidative stress, so that free radical damage, by almost half in 30 days. Well, quite frankly, ABC Primetime did not believe them, so they sent out an Emmy Award-winning journalist, John Quinones, to the company to get his blood test. And normally when ABC Primetime or NBC Dateline or 2020 or any of these shows comes to a place of business, the CEO is running out the back door with his briefcase over his head going, no comment, no comment. But they took John Quinones' blood, and as with all of the other participants in the study, his oxidative stress came down dramatically. But he didn't come back in 30 days like they were advertising that it would do. He came back in 12 days because they always have to throw a twist in there. They're not trying to prove it works, they're trying to disprove it. Well, his oxidative stress came down 45% in just 12 days. So what happened then? Well, any researcher that was at home on their couch that happened to see that ABC Primetime contacted the company. And they said, we would like to study this product on our, whatever their research area of interest was. And so 27 independent studies were initiated and funded by entities such as the American Heart Association, the National Institute on Aging, Harvard, LSU, Ohio State, Virginia Commonwealth, Vanderbilt, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And today there are 26 peer-reviewed published studies on PubMed, 31 total. And the research just continues and it gets better and better and better. So what am I talking about research? Well, the gold standard of research is found at the National Institute of Health's repository of peer-reviewed published literature, which is PubMed. Pub for public, med for medical, .gov for government. It's the US Library of Medicine. And if you type in oxidative stress there, you're going to find over 225,000 studies on the damaging effects of oxidative stress. And as you can see, year over year, the interest in studying the effects of oxidative stress is exponentially rising. It is a big deal. It's at the root cause of malfunction, mutation, aging, and all kinds of things that you don't want to have happen, right? So then you type in this pathway that I just mentioned, NRF2, and you see again that research is increasing every single year. There are over almost 15,000 studies at my last search on the NRF2 pathway, which has been described by a recent meta-analysis done by Washington State University as the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. No small comment, right? Well, what does that mean? When you reduce oxidative stress and you increase the production of your survival genes, which we're going to get into in a minute, you go from a hijacked genome where some genes are being overexpressed and some genes are being underexpressed to a homogeneous, normal, like a child's expression of your genes. And that's what we want, okay? So this company made a NRF2 synergizer that decreases oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. No other supplement on the planet can make that claim. It combats cellular oxidative stress, and the NIA, which is the National Institute on Aging study funded by the National Institutes of Health, protandim was the only natural compound shown to extend healthy lifespan in a mammal. It's certified by the NSF, the Banned Substance Control Group, and those seals of approval means what's on the bottle is in the bottle, and even professional athletes and Olympians can take it. Now, NRF2 activation is the beginning of the company's story. I'm going to take a sip of my Axio. Hold on just a second. Hey, Tammy. Okay, so NRF2 activation reduces oxidative stress, which is harmful to our tissues, our lipids, our DNA, our proteins. When our cells are being damaged by oxidative stress, the most damaged component of our cells that's hit by oxidative stress is the mitochondria. Oh, I forgot about this slide. This is what does reducing oxidative stress look like. These mice are all siblings. One group is given a traditional direct antioxidant. One group is given the NRF2 synergizer. These guys, you can see gray hair. You can see their coats are dull. And these guys are shiny, very, very slick black coats. And they're acting and looking like much younger mice, even though they're the same age as these guys. So when I was where I was going with the previous ones, oxidative stress damages our mitochondria the most. The mitochondria, as you might remember from biology class, is the powerhouse of the cell. It makes ATP, which is a unit of energy like the battery power for your cells. And if your cells don't have mitochondria, they're dead. You can actually take the nucleus of the cell out. It will continue to live. If you take out the mitochondria, nothing. So we need our mitochondria, and they're damaged badly by oxidative stress because they're the source of the free radicals. They're the source of the energy production. So they're the source of the pollution. And they're damaged. Once they're damaged to a certain degree, they die. And now our cells are trying to do the same work that they used to do with enough mitochondria with too few mitochondria. So if you look up mitochondrial dysfunction on our friend PubMed, you will see there are over 43,000 studies increasing every year, because most things that you don't want to get are a consequence of mitochondrial dysfunction. There is a master pathway which regulates mitochondrial biogenesis, and that's called NRF1. The letters are similar to NRF2, but it has nothing to do with the same, it's different words, okay? So NRF1 stands for Nuclear Respiratory Factor 1. Respiration in this case has to do with the mitochondria taking oxygen and turning it into energy. So it's air we breathe in is converted into energy through the mitochondria. NRF1, that is a very new topic, but you can see the results, or the research on it is increasing. It is the master regulator. And now we have a synergistic blend of natural ingredients that increases our mitochondrial biogenesis. It boosts mitochondrial production, the ability of the old mitochondria to work more efficiently, increases ATP production, performance, helps you sleep, helps everything. I mean, you just need mitochondria to live and to detoxify, and this gives you more number and more healthy mitochondria. Now, the third pathway, which goes to pot as we age, is the pathway known as the sirtuins. The sirtuins are master proteins of our DNA. They protect us against expression of bad genes, and they actually go to the site of DNA breaks and repair double-strand DNA breaks. So we want our sirtuins to be healthy and active, but they decline in activity by over 60% as we age. And they require something called NAD, And it's a molecule, let's see if I have it. Okay, it's a molecule in every cell that's used for ATP production. And as we get older, our NAD volume and quantity goes down. Dr. David Sinclair is a research geneticist at Harvard Medical School who was on the cover of Time magazine as one of the 100 most influential people because of his work with NAD. Now, he had mice that were designed to have more NAD and sirtuin activity. And you can see the mouse on the left. He's way ahead of this mouse on the right that doesn't have more NAD and doesn't have increased sirtuin activity. They're the same. Actually, this mouse is older. And this mouse, as you can see, is just trucking along. Meanwhile, this mouse on the right is like trying to get out. He's crawling like, let me out. And this one's like, he broke the treadmill. Okay, so... oops. Okay, so now with the three of them working together, we have the NRF2 synergizer that's decreasing oxidative stress, putting out the fires of inflammation. NRF1 is the furnace. It makes more mitochondria so that your cells can do the work of detoxification. And NAD is protecting against expression of bad genes and helping repair DNA. And it also is like the CEO of the cell, and it tells all these other enzymes produced by the other synergizers what to do, where to go, and how much to do. So we need them. Now, when they're used together, their target genes, each of these pathways has a target gene which does the work and how it works to get the effect. And when you combine them together, the results are synergistic. They just magnify and enhance each other for better results and better, better outcomes. Here's an example of what I mean by better outcome. The brain before NRF2 activation, and we have a liquid brain food, which is NRF2 activation specifically formulated for the brain. You can see by example of a writing sample, which is 1 week apart, the neatness, the accuracy. It's just a brain that's working better and is very visible. Here is another example of the brain working better. And this person used the NRF1 for mitochondrial biogenesis, NRF2 for reducing oxidative stress, and the liquid brain food. The brain map on the top shows areas that are red, which is out of the range of normal. That's hyperactivity in the brain, more firing in an abnormal manner. After, I forget how long it was. I think it was 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. The brain is completely normalized. All activity is normal. So these products do work at the cellular level, and they produce amazing things. Would you like to see what that looks like? We're going to see it. So what if you could feel like you're supposed to and used to feel? What if you could sleep better, have more mental clarity, longer lasting focus, fewer crashes throughout the day, and a consistent, amazing mood and energy all day? What if you could feel confident in your body's cellular protection? What if all that good feeling on the inside showed on the outside? Drum roll, please. Well, here's my friend Amy. In 2014, she was gorgeous. But in 2017, she's 3 years older, and she looks, in my opinion, 10 years younger. Okay, take a good look. That is what NRF2 activation does on the inside and outside. We do have a topical, and we'll get into that. Here's a lady. She was scheduled to have this excess skin on her eyelids removed. She started using topical NRF2 activation, and the reduction in oxidative stress has elevated her, skin structure and function to where she didn't really need that surgery. Same with this lady. You can see how much tighter the skin around her mouth is, and the reduction in these marionette lines or nasolabial folds, in the 11s. And this is just a smattering of people. You can just see they were not healthy before. They did not look their best. And then now they do. Meanwhile, they're getting older. So I love that. Here's a great, this is the marionette line here. Much, much, much less long and much less deep. This is an epicanthal fold on the eye, the crow's feet, just an amazing difference. This is 80 days, sorry, this is 60 days. This gentleman activated one side of his skin for 23 days and 54 days, didn't do the other side. You can see a massive difference. This is a pony, was not activated, and then you could just see he's just more spry, he's sprightly, he just looks more alert, and he just looks like he feels better. This is my friend's horse, Ryan. He was 18 years old in the first photo, and in the second photo below, he's 20 years young. You can see the musculature on the top line. His coat is so shiny. Here again, a top photo, he's 18 years old. And then this is a few months later, he's 18 years young. So he's better in just a few months, but he's even much better a couple of years later. Here's more examples of activation before and afters. You can see oxidative stress leads to inflammation. Inflammation can be visible. This dog is a sister of this dog. You can see she looks stressed. She's got gray hair around her muzzle. This one, he looks happy and he doesn't. This is his brother, gray hair, looking a little stressed, happy, no gray hair. I mean, this is what reduction of oxidative stress looks like. Here's an example of Oscar. Oscar is my friend's, who's a vet, his best friend's dog. So the veterinarian's best friend's dog. This is Oscar. Before activation, having a hard time moving. And then after activation, I think this was 3 weeks.
Oscar, hey man, come here, Oscar.
He's still old. He still looks a little bit, you know, out of it, but he feels, you can see he feels better. I mean, animals don't know they're supposed to feel better. They don't have placebo effect. And so they don't know when they're supposed to feel better, but he does. Okay, we actually have a formula for our dogs, which has glucosamine chondroitin, which most people, or a lot of pet parents give their animals. It also has omegas, which a lot of pet parents give their animals. It's certified by the National Animal Supplement Council, for which is a benchmark of quality. The immune system is 80% housed in your gut, which is a barrier between the outside world and your insides. So it's super important to have a healthy gut microbiome, which means you have to put the good bacteria in and you have to feed the bacteria. Now, the problem with most probiotics on the market is, including yogurt and kombucha and kimchi and all those sauerkraut, when it gets into your stomach, the acid in your stomach kills 96% of those beneficial gut microbes. Well, ProBio in our case is vacuum sealed, freeze-dried and vacuum sealed in a double wall BioTract patented technology that does not release the microbes until they're out of the stomach, so they're not killed in the stomach. And furthermore, they're layered so that the ones that are beneficial in the proximal intestines are released first, and those that are more beneficial in the distal intestines are released last. And finally, it has Wellmune in it, which you can tell from the name, supports a healthy immune system. In fact, there are multiple peer-reviewed published studies on Wellmune showing it reduces the incidence and severity of colds and flu. So we get fully 60% up to 70% of the microbes, the beneficial good bacteria, down to the distal colon. So they can do the job of making serotonin and making dopamine and making vitamin C and making glutathione and all the things that are going to keep us healthy. That's what we need, a healthy gut microbiome. And speaking of which, we have a weight management line that is primarily working through creating a healthy gut, and it targets abdominal fat. And does it work? Well, I will let these before and after photos speak for themselves. They do work, it does work, it's amazing, and it targets belly fat. Oh, she's on both slides. I didn't realize that. Okay, so lots of great examples. All right, and they had a company had a contest, and so that's why people are holding their papers. There were $5,000 winners, which was really great. And then we have a scalp nerve 2 activation. It works for the skin topically. So our scalp, we absorb, I think it's like over 60% of what we put on our scalp within 26 seconds. And most hair care systems out there are toxic. We have developed a nerve 2 activated hair care line that absolutely improves the health of the scalp. And when you have a healthy scalp, you have healthier hair growth. And here's Katja's hair. You can see the fine baby hairs growing. This little girl used it 6 times over 2 weeks, and you can see how much better, healthier, fuller, shinier, more manageable her hair looks. You can see his hair. This hair care system works. I love it. And this is Josephine before and after 7 months. So it does sometimes take time. She had great results at 7 weeks. The photo's not showing for some reason, but even more amazing results at 7 months. I did want to say, oops, that slide wasn't supposed to be there. We do have an opportunity for you to get your own website. And if you did and you wanted to invite people to our amazing educational group that's run by physicians, and they decide to purchase, your friends that you invite, if they decide to purchase, you can earn between 30 and 40% of whatever they order. And you can also get paid every month they reorder. It's a wonderful blend of a laptop lifestyle, social sharing, helping your friends feel and look better. You don't have to have any inventory. You don't have to ship, store, stock, or sell anything. You just simply share the information within the group, let the group you know, show them what we have and they decide, and then you get a commission because you have shared your link. It's a great replicated website that's absolutely beautiful and professionally laid out, all done for you. Again, the only thing you have to do is find out if someone would like to learn more and invite them to our group and send them your website. We have a ton of fun. We help a lot of people. We change lives, and it's absolutely an amazing company to be with. Erin Brockovich is on our board of directors. She's incredible. I met her. We just have the best time. And now, if you have any questions, get back with the person who invited you to this presentation and get their replicated website so you can get your products ordered with or without a website.